Wow, I guess lightsabers work now, don't they? Howdy all, I am Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome back to my review of Ahsoka. We are at episode 7, Dreams and Madness, where nobody had a dream. And there was definitely no madness, unless you count my watching this a sign of madness, because maybe I'm crazy, maybe I've lost a step or two, I don't know, but that's the deal we have. I watch it, so you don't have to. See what I did there? I rhymed. Anywho, wow, 40 minutes of nothing. 40 minutes of nostalgia baiting, bad choreography, stilted dialogue, and zero plot progression. Not a single conversation was had in this episode that actually moved the story along or had consequences for people's actions, namely Sabine. Sabine gets to continue to be covered in 10-foot thick plot armor, and so far everybody's just so happy that they found the try-hard Jedi that we're not going to actually take a moment to have a discussion about how Sabine betrayed the entire galaxy. Did something that, according to how these characters, and I say that very lightly, how these characters are developed, that a guy like try-hard Ezra would be very upset with and would not have done. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What do we got here? As I said, 40 minutes of nothing. Dave Filoni truly is a master at taking nothing and stretching it into something boring. Just a little preview. Ahsoka's going to land. Well, Ahsoka will arrive. Ahsoka the White will arrive. She's not going to go to Space Minas Tirith. I was wrong, but I guess that's next episode where she goes to Space Minas Tirith. Thrawn pretends to be a tactical genius when in fact he does nothing. Tryhard Ezra and plot armor Sabine have a meaningless conversation and a badly choreographed fight scene and chase scene, while then Ahsoka has a badly choreographed fight scene with Baylan, and Ray Stevenson once again delivers nothing more than actually being the only person trying to act on this screen, because you learn nothing about Baylan, nothing at all. He is still a mystery with one episode to go and possibly never to return because R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. Other than that, that's it. We're going to go into it, and I'm going to mock it, and then we're going to be done. Hopefully quickly, because this show is empty. It's soulless. It's nostalgia baiting, and we're going to get right off the bat with the serious nostalgia bait. Therefore, without further ado,
the Honourable Senator Organa has become aware of an unfortunate situation and wishes to present this data transcript, which she hopes may resolve the matter.
Now, the only thing resolved here is the undisputed fact that Dave Filoni is a hack. Dave Filoni is nothing but a nostalgia-baiting piece of shit. Gonna roll out 3PO to try and distract everybody from the fact that there is nothing going on in this episode. This opening scene, girl boss Hera's court-martial. It opens with her explaining what's going on. We did this, we did that, and diversity hire Asian senator is going to be all, I'm going to destroy you for no real apparent reason other than my political gain. Don't you people want to see real-world politicking in our shows? Meanwhile, Mama Drama Mon Mothma, or maybe we'll call her Mommy Drama Mothma. Maybe something like that. I'll work it out later. Mommy Drama Mothma is busy being ineffective because they've turned the first leader of the New Republic into a nothing burger. She sighs, she groans, she rolls her eyes, she tilts her head. That's all she does. She does nothing. She's useless. She's powerless. They've taken a true, powerful female figure in Star Wars and turned her into a mommy drama character, because that's what she's in. Andor sucked. You can't deny that. Andor sucked. Anyway, while they're debating it, here comes fat Asian fighter pilot who's the glue to everything in Filoni-verse to shake his head at Hera, and as diversity hire Asian senator continues to berate her and say, oh, you got nothing, Hera tries to say the Imperial Remnant Imperial remnant. It's a figment. It's a hold on to other things that is another, as I didn't state it last week, others did because I was too busy mocking other things of the episode. People were right when they said last week's droning on and on was a lot of attacks at the expanded universe, real Star Wars. And here it is again, because the Imperial Remnant was a very large part of the expanded universe. So, diversity hire Asian senator is going to be busily mocking the EU while mocking Hera until... Well, I'm sorry, I'm not there yet. I'm not nostalgia bait yet. Meanwhile, as he's mocking Hera and refuting the EU ever existed or mattered, that Asian fighter pilot who's the glue to everything in Mandoverse stands up and says, "But what about the Battle of Mandalore?" Once again, trying to emphasize how important and how interconnected Dave Filoni, Filoniverse Star Wars is. Guess what? Dave Filoni is Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is Dave Filoni. It's all one thing. It's all a giant pile of steaming shit. And as they continue to at each other, then here comes the nostalgia bait, because for a second you hear a familiar, prissy, high-pitched voice meant to distract you from all the boring conversation here. That's right. Actual Star Wars character on deck. C-3PO, played by Anthony Daniels, who did return for the role. I'm not going to fault Anthony Daniels for trying to make bank off the role that made him famous. I'm not gonna deny him that. Although he is a little weird in this. 3PO is constantly kind of bent back like this the entire time. It's a little weird. At least I noticed it. I wonder if anybody else will. Anywho, 3PO comes in and quotes that Leia has sent him. Senator Organa has sent him to basically now retcon Hera's actions. I have a data tablet, a data pad, a data chip, a data transcript, whatever the hell they call it, that says she authorized everything Hera did. Diversity Asian senator is very upset about this, but Mommy Mon Mothma cuts it all down, says, "Oh, case closed. Let's just brush this under the rug. It's okay." And 3PO gets thanked. Everybody's happy to see 3PO. Aren't you happy to see C-3PO, everybody? Aren't you distracted? Look, nostalgia. Look, a real Star Wars character. An actual, true, shiny thing to be distracted by. Because that's what it is. It's nothing but a distraction. Nothing but to make you feel a pang, a heart twang of love for actual Star Wars while watching something that isn't Star Wars, while trying to convince you that it is Star Wars because, look, there's an actual Star Wars character walking around fanfiction characters and fake versions of them like Mommy Drama Mon Mothma. Anyway, after case dismissed and Hera has now faced zero repercussions for what she's done, familiar theme in all these types of writing, the girl boss faces no repercussions, but she's the good guy. We're supposed to root for her. Don't you like it that she was victorious? There has to be some repercussions. There has to be. First, she brought her kid to a battle zone. But Adam, it was a plot device because he had to hear the Force and then she could feel the Force because everybody could feel the Force. Mommy Drama Mon Mothma walks up to her, says, "Now, what's the truth here, Hera? You didn't really have orders. What are you and Leia playing at?" "Well, I did have orders. Eventually." "Well, are we in trouble?" "Yes, we're in trouble because guess what? Thrawn is coming. No one was ever going to stop Thrawn from coming. And that is the central aspect of this entire useless show. No one was ever going to stop Thrawn from returning to the Star Wars galaxy. It was going to happen. This whole exercise has been an exercise in futility and a waste of time. And it only gets worse. We now find Ahsoka the White still in her dumbass ship inside the giant space whale, flying to another galaxy in just a couple of hours. What's time mean at all? What's it mean? Fast travel. It's a wonderful thing. We come upon Ahsoka the White doing a very awkward, slow motion stance training exercise while the show squeezes one more bit of Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker out of your nostalgia bait. Because, and I got it. This is so weird to look because Rosario Dawson has zero athletic ability. It's very painful to watch. And maybe that's as fast as she can go, trying to represent some sort of kata. But instead, it just looks bad. While Anakin drones on about not always going to be there. You've heard this speech in the trailer. I'm not going to repeat it. It ends. David Tennant droid walks in. I didn't know you had recordings. Oh, he made a lot of these recordings. He made 20 of them. This was his last one. We're supposed to feel some sort of, again, connection, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. The space whales are about to get out of hyperspace. They're done swimming the sperm lane. They're about to reach their destination. The giant hole. The giant space sperm are going down the hyperspace lane, which is the pathway to the giant space. Oh, you get it. You get it. You get it. You know where I'm going with this joke. Anyway, they go back to the cockpit. They have a little bit of a banter of, la-di-la-di-da about it. It's really meaningless. It's filler discussion so that Ahsoka can crack a smile. Look, she can emote. It kind of hurts. Hurts my face. Hurts her face probably too. They arrive, but suddenly something's wrong. Suddenly something's wrong. The space whales are under attack because remember last episode, Thrawn said, shoot them out, destroy them without hesitation. How are they doing it? Well, as Ahsoka's dumbass ship emerges from the mouth of the space whale, apparently where they got them and that many of them, I don't know. But Thrawn, what people are saying is zombie troopers, Night Sister Girl Boss, and whoever she brought with her. I mean, here's the thing. Whoever she brought with her on the space donut of destiny, they laid a giant-ass minefield between the planet and the exit point for hyperspace. Now, that does make sense because they knew that's where they came out of hyperspace. So, of course, they know that's where the space sperm whales are going to come out of hyperspace. But wow, that's a lot of space mines. When, how, with what, and where did they come from? Because if they couldn't have come from the Chimera, because that many space mines could not fit in its cargo holds, especially if they've low on supplies. And we have no indication that the space donut of VJJ Destiny even brought that. So, but just forget it. Just be a stan and clap like a seal. That the space whales are in danger. Oh no! And unfortunately, no space whales were harmed in the making of this episode. Yes, the space whales F off. They all flip their sperm tails and go back into the canal hyperspace, while Ahsoka and her dumbass ship with David Tennant droid are busy now evading the mines. Then here come the World War II fighter jets all over again. Which why are we afraid of these World War II fighter jets? They pose no threat to our ship. We proved back in episode 3, remember Space Gymnastics, that their firepower cannot even penetrate her hull. They do no damage. So why is she running? You got to run to create tension. Got to run so you can get into the space whale graveyard debris field ring around the planet to create tension and to also recreate the asteroid field chase from Empire Strikes Back. That's right. You're supposed to feel like it's the asteroid chase all over again, minus actual Star Wars, minus great ship choreography, minus John Williams' most brilliant track ever. It is my favorite, right up there. It tops Duel of the Fates. That is my favorite of all time. I love that track. But yeah, you're supposed to remember, hey, remember Empire Strikes Back? They even say the line, we're going to get pulverized if we stay out here much longer. Dave Filoni is a goddamn hack drawing the line. Remember? I'll remember all over your face. Right, they eventually evade, manage to go away because Thrawn decides, hey, wait, we're getting the report. Fighters are attacking Ahsoka. Oh, this is my master. This is where I said earlier, Thrawn pretends to be brilliant in this. We're going to let her escape so that then she can draw us to Ezra, who I already sent Sabine to find Ezra. She's a Jedi. She's good at hiding. Let's let her do what she's best at, and then she'll pop out and we'll follow her. It's really retarded. It is retarded. And his big reveal for why doing all this later is, again, retarded. So the World War II fighters just break off. Ahsoka and David Tennant Droid decide to take a breather and hide out. Now we get to go check in on the tryhard Ezra and plot armor Sabine, where they really, really remind you that Dave Filoni only cares about his Star Wars, not real Star Wars.
The Empire was defeated.
Battle of Endor.
The Emperor died.
That's what people say.
There's a new republic, Zeb's training recruits, and Hera's commanding a fleet. You missed everything.
We're going to push all the way to the end now. I know it seems like a stretch. Normally we get one more little break, but let's be honest. This is all flash, no bang. It's very easy to push through, very easy to mock. Let's have some fun. We now find ourselves with tryhard Jedi Ezra and plot armor Sabine running along in the caravan, little shellback alien dudes, having a chat, a very stilted, dumb chat, where Sabine has yet to admit that she sacrificed the galaxy just to find him, which would be against everything he stands for. So when they're having their conversation, this is what jumped out at me the most. She's been recounting to him what's happened since he did his big sacrifice. The war ended. The Empire was defeated. The Battle of Endor. Only mention of real Star Wars at that point. Everything else is Dave Filoni bullshit. The Emperor is dead. At least that's what they tell us. Yeah, the Emperor didn't die because Dark Empire, but that's real Star Wars. Not Rise of Soy Walker, which is fake bullshit, which is bastardized Dark Empire. Anyway. The New Republic exists. One of their stupid characters is doing this. Another one of their stupid characters is doing that. And no mention of Luke Skywalker. No mention of Han Solo. No mention of the true heroes of the rebellion. Nope, Dave Filoni just wants to remind you that his characters exist. Once again, I repeat, in this whole recap of what she tells him, she never mentions Luke, Han, and Leia. Never mentions a thing. Because Dave Filoni characters are what's important. Anyway, all right. They blah-de-blah. I'm so glad to see you. So about to go home. He keeps trying to push her for things that are happening. All she says, it's complicated. She keeps dodging the question because Dave Filoni can't be bothered to waste time giving us a true character interaction where there has to be true drama, true emotion, discussing consequences. Now, it's probably going to come next episode, but it'll be done really poorly. Right. Anyway, we cut back to Ahsoka. She's in her ship. Oh, David Tennant Droid says we can't find anybody. The sensors are too thick. They're jamming us. Maybe too much interference. So you know what Ahsoka decides to do? She's going to reach out to Sabine through the Force. That's right. We are now confirming that the Force exists in this galaxy outside the Star Wars galaxy with zero explanation. Remember, the Force in the Star Wars galaxy is created by all living things in that galaxy. It is home to that galaxy. It exists in that galaxy. It does not exist in the whole universe. The Force is not a universal, universal resource. It's not a universal resource. It's specific and unique to the Star Wars galaxy. Dave Filoni doesn't care. Ahsoka reaches out. Sabine, like Luke reached out to Leia when he was in trouble in Empire Strikes Back. Sabine. And then Sabine hears her. That's right, guys. Sabine is Force sensitive, even though she's shown zero aptitude, zero Force sensitivity. Once again, if you try hard enough, if you close your eyes, if you kvetch out a crap, you too can be Force sensitive in Dave Filoni Disney Star Wars. Isn't it great? Ahsoka reaches out. Sabine hears it. Ezra's talking to Sabine. Sabine, what did you hear? I felt something. What did you feel? It felt good. Yeah. Meanwhile, Fat Thrawn, because remember, Thrawn is still fat, everybody. Oh, you're a bully. You're fat shaming. I don't care. He's fat. Kiss my ass. Fat Thrawn summons Night Sister Girl Boss, Great Mother Girls, one of them being played by Claudia Black. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. Let's not make any sort of marketing campaign to let everybody know that a favorite sci-fi fantasy actress from live action and voice acting, Claudia Black, Farscape, Stargate, many other things, is a part of this show, covered by a ton of makeup, and have her voice distorted so you can't even hear that sultry, sexy Claudia Black accent. No. Let's not do any of that. Let's just roll her out there and not tell anybody. Leave it for the rest of us to discover that in credits or somebody actually saying, hey, that's Claudia Black. What? Yeah, I like Claudia Black. One of my favorites. Still not going to save this show. Anyway, Night Sister Girl Boss Mother, great big things come around. Fat Thrawn, I need you to track Ahsoka. Because Ahsoka's reaching out through the Force, now the Night Sis Great Mother Girl Bosses can find her. Gee, but Dave Filoni, I thought Night Sister doesn't mean, I thought their magic was magic and not the Force. But how can they track her if they're not Force sensitive? Dave Filoni shits the bed again, folks. He has fooled you. He has conned you into believing that it's not the Force, yet then how can they track something through the Force? It all is the Force. It's all the Force. They track her. They locate her. Giant donut ring of destiny opens fire. Ahsoka leaves. David Tennant joins. What are we going to do? Ahsoka, oh, I know where I'm going. Don't worry. It's okay. I'm all right. I know where it is. I'm Ahsoka the White. I'll take us there. No worries. All that kind of shit. So now that Ahsoka's on her way, we can cut to the fact that Baylan and Bang's Dark Jedi emo girl have found them. And if you thought for a moment, if you thought for any stretch of your imagination that you were going to get any sort of Ray Stevenson Baylan reveal here, well, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you. Real cheap. Yes, Ray Stevenson and Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl are seeing Tryhard Ezra and Sabine's caravan coming. Ray Stevenson says, call the Grand Admiral. Tell him that you have found them. Find your place in his coming empire, because your ambition is taking you in a direction different from my plans. She sadly says, okay. Well, she doesn't. She just says, I know where they are. Because remember, she only speaks when she does speak. Because she says so much every episode. She says 3 words. We've located them. Maybe that's 4. Contraction doesn't count. I don't know. And then that's it. She doesn't say another word the entire episode. She just blankly emotes during the coming badly choreographed fight scene. Baylan says to her, your path is different from mine. And that's it. She rides off with the nomad bandits there while Baylan looks on. Right. Cut to Thrawn with human faceplate Stormtrooper man saying, we've got the transmission. We've located Bridger. Thrawn says, send in the troops. Here we go. Oh, look, Stormtrooper, they're coming. Stormtrooper, they're coming. All right. The Stormtroopers are sent out. Now we cut to the battle. Oh, good. Look, a running battle. I was really hoping they would say they fly now, because that's the kind of brilliant dialogue we expect from Disney Star Wars. No, we just get very annoying banter of, don't these critters have any weapons? Because during the fight, one of them breaks out a slingshot, because remember, Ezra used a laser slingshot in Rebels. No, they're peaceful people. Why don't you tell them how many weapons? It's really pointless banter that distracts from the bad choreography, which is distracting because it's so bad. Meanwhile, here comes Ahsoka. She's zeroing in on it, tells David Tennant droid to drop her own so she can jump out of the starship so she can encounter Ray Stevenson. And her and Ray Stevenson are going to have a fight. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. The Nomads and Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl come in there. They start the fight. And here we get, again, really stupidity. Before the fight starts, Sabine tries to give the Tryhard lightsaber back to the Tryhard Jedi. No, it's yours. I gave it to you. No, you have to have it. You need something. No, the Force is the only ally I need. Okay, so Ezra is such a badass that he doesn't need a lightsaber, even though all great Jedi and Sith on both sides still always had a lightsaber. Palpatine had a lightsaber. Yoda still had a lightsaber. Vader still had a lightsaber. But Ezra is the try-hardiest, bestest ever Jedi. He doesn't need anything. The Force is all he needs. So as the fight begins, Ezra basically fights with Force Kung Fu. He fights with Force Kung Fu. He is so great, he don't need no lightsaber. Meanwhile, Sabine's plot armor is triggered. She can get hit in the back of the head and be fine. She can have blaster bolts fired at her in the same spot every time and be just fine. She can block blaster bolts with her gauntlet again. All of it happens. It's great. It's fantastic. We're just going to speed right through it until Bang's emo dark Jedi girl attacks. She attacks tryhard Ezra from behind. And as she's attacking, she ignites her lightsaber, which is all he needs to do is he didn't hear her coming. No, let's not ignite the lightsaber before we even add it, so maybe then you'll have to actually push his try-hard Jedi senses to reacting. No, when you're literally a foot from him, then ignite your lightsaber so he can hear the snap hiss, and then duck and have his hair shaved off and say, "You miss me." Meanwhile, Ahsoka arrives with Ray Stevenson. They have a little talk of nothing. And they start a fight of slow motion bad choreography. And it will persist throughout the other fight, which will jump back and forth, where again, as I said, Sabine's plot armor protects her while she's shot in the back, that she can block shots with her gauntlet, and she can stab a guy through the chest and he's dead. Hey, lightsabers work. Ha! Go figure. Eventually, we end up with Sabine and tryhard Ezra surrounding Bang's emo dark Jedi girl. It seems like she's done. Ezra says, "You're just not looking good for you." God, this dialogue is so scintillating, isn't it? Until here comes the stormtrooper reinforcements. Soon they're surrounded. Ezra then says, "Hey, don't you want to just capture us?" Before the fight starts, though, Ahsoka has escaped from Ray Stevenson when he said, "You can't beat me." And she says, "I don't have to." Then David Tennant droid shoots it up. She escapes on one of those stupid big rat dog mount things. Arrives just in time, guys. Ahsoka arrives just in time in a hero moment that if it was anybody else and done any other show and done better, you'd be cheering. But now it's just, oh, wow, yay, Ahsoka's there. And Bang's emo dark Jedi girl is no match for her because she doesn't even ignite her lightsabers. She just does the whoop, whoop, I do the dodge, I do the dodge. The fight, it gets even worse now. Not only does Ezra decide that he actually does need a weapon, but what about your speech, "The Force is my ally"? No, he needs a blaster, apparently. Now Ezra needs a blaster to survive this, along with his Force Kung Fu. But Sabine is even worse. Again, plot armor. Plot armor as thick as the pyramids. Shot in the back. Wow, well, you shot her in the back, right dead center of her Beskar backplate. Shoot her in the head, maybe. Her ass is completely unprotected. You could shoot her in the ass. You could shoot her in the leg. Nope, let's keep shooting her right in the spot where she is fully protected. And then she's gonna Wonder Woman it again. Later on, during the fight, she also has a chance to, while being rushed by Fear of 4 stormtroopers, fire a rocket from her gauntlet. Gee, Fat Thrawn, it was such a good idea to give her all her equipment back, wasn't it? Your limited resources, your limited troops are even more limited now because you fully armed a Mandalorian. Or a try-hard Mandalorian, either way. She's got all her gear. At one point, even during the battle, she used her grappling hook to pull somebody off their feet while Ezra Force Kung Fu'd them. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's unbelievable. Thrawn the genius was perfectly happy to let this happen because now we're back to Thrawn where Thrawn the Genius says, I'm okay with all of them being together. Knights is a girl boss, but my lord, how can you possibly want this, Admiral? We have the chance to wipe them out because my master plan, as I said earlier in the review, his master plan was to waste their time so you can keep loading the mysterious Night Sister, Girl Boss, Great Mother cargo onto the Chimera, and then rightfully just F off and ditch in there because no more space whales, they have no way to get home. That's actually a smart move, but his whole, I'm letting them fight and waste my... He actually says, these losses are acceptable. No, real Thrawn would not have done it like this. Real Thrawn would have used more aerial bombardment. He would not have wasted his troops. He would have used more of the nomads. But no, this plan is acceptable because Balin wasn't on the ground to tip the scales in our favor. So I'm okay with this because we wasted Ahsoka's time because there's no way she can get back to Space Minas Tirith now. With the battle over, the Thrawn gives the signal to retreat. Everybody runs away. The stormtroopers back off. They all get on board the shuttles to get the gunships. They call those gunships. They don't look like gunships to me. They get on board the gunships and leave Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl behind because that. All fairness, that was their orders. That was their orders to not care about the mercenaries. Ahsoka reaches out her hand to Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl. I can help you. I can help you. You can find the light side. Of course, Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl runs off, gets on her rat dog mount and rides away. I don't think she's going to... If they're supposedly hours away from wherever Space Minas Tirith is, how is she going to get back in time in order to continue as a character? I don't know. She'll make it. Fast travel, don't worry. But there we go. Our motley band of fanfic characters are all victorious. We get to have hugs. Ezra, I'm so glad to see you. Rosario Dawson manages to emote for half a second, but then right back to folding her arms. Rosario, nobody was able to get drunk this episode. You did not fold your arms nearly enough. Such a shame. And then Ezra says the brilliant line, I have a feeling I'm going to get to go home. Which allows Ahsoka to girl boss smile at Sabine, and Sabine to girl boss smile and nod at Ahsoka, despite the fact that she is the villain in all of this. All right, that's it. That's episode. Let's break this down and be on our merry way, shall we?
Guys, getting a feeling. I think I might be going home after all.
One more episode to go. And let's recap what's happened. Overall, the entire episode, nothing happened. Where's the tension? Oh, we have to get back to Space Minas Tirith so that we can get back to the galaxy. Although Ezra has no idea that they have to do that. Ahsoka knows. Sabine hasn't had a real conversation with anybody about her villainy. Because she's a villain. She screwed everybody over for her own selfish desires. But there will be no repercussions. Ezra might be mad for a little while, but he'll forgive her soon enough. Maybe they'll kiss. I don't know. But there's no soul to any of this. And it's translated through the fact that all of it is executed poorly. When you have a character like Sabine who survives everything, it's boring. It's retarded. How many times could she have been shot anywhere except in the chest or in the back? Because I showed you that Stormtrooper had her dead to rights if he had shot her in the ass or shot her in the back of the leg where she has no armor. No, just going to shoot dead center in her armor. And then she's going to block other bolts like Wonder Woman because she's force sensitive now. Remember, in Dave Filoni Star Wars, anybody can be force sensitive. You just have to want it hard enough. The whole big thing about having Ezra be here, the dude was nothing. He doesn't even... That's why I call him the try-hard Jedi, because he tries so hard. Tries so goddamn hard to be a badass. I don't need the lightsaber. The Force is my ally. Remember that line from Yoda? Well, watch this guy eventually need a blaster. Watch this guy get tossed around eventually. I negated to talk about it during my recap of the fight because I was going through a lot of it there. But at one point, Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl, she tosses him aside like he's nothing with the Force. Then he gets back up and gets back in the fight. But the dude is worthless. And the choreography, as I said, is god-awful. Baylan Ahsoka round 2, there's literally only 30 seconds of it on screen. And what there is on screen is slow and sad and sorry. No actual fighting happens. It's just let's swing light swords to lock up so we can have a conversation. Whenever Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl is swinging her light stick, she's just swinging it around wildly. Sabine charges in at one point, does a spin around before launching her attack. Why are you doing any of this? It's retarded. It's boring. It's sad. And to top it all off, you have Thrawn. Fat Thrawn. His big plan to waste their time. That's his big plan. To waste his limited resources. Because whatever the cargo is, the deal with the great mother, night sister, girl bosses, that's what's important. How about you screw them over and just get the hell out of there? I guess they're really important artifacts in those crates. That's going to tip the scales, everything. What I bet is it's a bunch of... I'm betting this now. Here I'm saying it. I thought about it last week, thought about it up to today. I bet all the containers they're putting onto the Chimera from within Space Ministerial, I bet they are basically cryo-sleeping more Night Sister girl bosses. Bunch of fake Dave Filoni, Dothamiri, and suspended animation. And when we get to Back to the Star Wars Galaxy for Dave Filoni's Mando Season 4 in the movie coming up, there'll be an army of Night Sister girl bosses using the Magic Force. And we talked about it earlier, so I'm just going to remind you, nostalgia bait at the beginning to distract you from the boring, from the waste of time that comes from all this. Drawn out waste of time. But no, we saw C-3PO. Leia was mentioned. That should make you happy if you're a Star Wars fan. Not an actual story, not actual events, not things that matter. Nothing in this episode that happened mattered. Ezra and Sabine were never in danger because Ahsoka the White was on the way. And Sabine has plot armor. I wish I had that kind of plot armor in life. Well, bad shit happened to me might not have happened. This show is empty and soulless. And if you like it, good for you. But don't call it a 10 out of 10. Don't say, oh, this Ahsoka hasn't missed yet. Every episode is great and awesome. These episodes are filler. If you can't understand that, I can't help you. And you probably don't like this review anyway. You know what? We're done here. We're done. One more episode to go. And then we wait for the acolyte. All right, guys. Thank you for watching today. If you had a good time, hit that like button. If you're new here, check out the channel. Hit that subscribe button here to entertain you and earn your trust and support using facts and logic. Leave a comment. I know the stands are. And I know real fans, passionate fans, true Star Wars fans, you leave a comment too. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you are as disgusted by this as I am. Let me know if you are just so excited for the conclusion. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your night or day, wherever you may be. And as always, may the real Star Wars and the real Force be with you. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @theranernerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.